Hey everyone, and welcome to PGN Live. Yeah, Monday, late night stream. Let's go! If you're not a fan of the LA Rams, I apologize, but if you are a fan, then congratulations to my fellow LA Rams fans on that victory yesterday. Oof, what a game. That was a pretty wild ending. But, anyways, we are here mostly to talk about video games. However, there is a little crossover there, intentionally why I wore this shirt today, because I want to talk about the possibility of maybe Zelda or Pokemon showing up at the Super Bowl this year. It has happened before in 2017 when the Nintendo Switch was about to come out. We had that Nintendo Switch commercial in which The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was the highlight of it. And then 5 years ago, also, at the Super Bowl in 2021, it was Pokemon's 25th anniversary, and there was a commercial for that. If I'm not mistaken, those were the two Super Bowls where Nintendo was present in some way. Now you could say, well, Pokemon's not directly Nintendo, and that's accurate. But overall, those were the two big ones that there was Nintendo IPs of sorts at, right? So I kind of want to discuss that as a possibility. Maybe it'll show up again this year because we've got Pokemon's 30th anniversary this year. We've got The Legend of Zelda's 40th anniversary this year. So it's just a little idea. Beyond that, this is going to be kind of a random PGN live. I got my pop-out chat ready to roll. Echo, thank you for letting me know. I'm going to see if this helps. Hopefully the echo sound is gone, because I see Joycey J69 saying there was an echo. Crazy Scott said there's an echo. Tigress said there's an echo. And by the way, thank you all for letting me know that. And hello in general to Joycey, Crazy Scott, Tigress, I Byzantium, and Yvonne Francois. How does the sound... Sounding better now. Okay, cool. This is a little bit of a later stream. I don't usually hop on Monday nights, but I wasn't able to hop on earlier today, so I thought, you know what? Gosh, it was a productive day. It was a productive weekend. It was a lot of work. Oh, leaving me feeling all sorts of achy. Lots of tree cutting, lots of trimming, climbing, chainsawing, Cindy Loppers, as I like to say, hauling trash, well, not trash, branches, heavy pieces of wood, a lot of work. I've got my late night coffee right here. That'll help me out. But what will also help me out is this stream. Watching the CFP. What's a CFP, Crazy Scott? And then way better regarding the sound. Okay, I read that one. Good. Just playing some Yakuza. I'm on Kiwami 2 now, getting excited for FF7. Yeah, that's this Thursday. I remember last week, it was on one of the streams. I was like, wait a minute. Was it the 17th or the 22nd? Wait, today's the 15th. When is it? And I was like, yeah, the 22nd. So I'm excited. I'm excited myself to replay it. Like the whole Midgar is something that I will always find cool. I'll always find that look, that aesthetic, the colors used there. Everything about that environment will always be neat to me. And so I'm looking forward to experiencing it again. But really, when a game like this that's so culturally important, relevant, etc., comes out, even if I don't play it, I'm looking forward to everyone else's thoughts and impressions, because I like to see new fans be made of something that I'm a fan of, you know? I finally took down Christmas decorations today. So sad. Funny, Crazy Scott. So, our entertainment center in the living room at our house is mostly video game centric. Uh, it's got two towers of games to the left and the right of the TV. Those towers have an R Wing from Star Fox on one, Ryu from Street Fighter, and Goku on another. My wife's and mine wedding toppers, which were Mii's, kind of. Well, not kind of. They were our Mii's as wedding toppers, along with mm, Wedding Day Mario, Wedding Day Peach, and Wedding Day Bowser. And, like, that's that stuff. And then you've got the video game consoles, Nintendo Switch 2 in the middle, PlayStation 5 to our left, Xbox Series X to our right. Some photos and stuff like that of our kids, family, and whatnot. Family photos on the wall above the TV. And then, like, NES Classic, SNES Classic, uh, the N64 controller, Sega Genesis controller, the other appropriate controllers. And, like, it's very video game centric. Off to the sides, Amiibo on this wall, and on this wall, a Zelda themed clock right here, and like some metal posters of Duck Hunt and Super Mario Bros. 3 over there. Christmas time comes around, and probably from just after Thanksgiving till right around now, a good 2 months almost. Some of that stuff remains, but a lot of the stuff that's easier to take down gets taken down, and my wife goes wild with Christmas decorations, and it's all set up. And now I was doing some dusting, like really fine dusting, taking a whole bunch of junk out, putting the stuff back in. I'm like, well, I'm not going to put the video game stuff back. I'm going to allow it to be Christmassy a little bit longer. So I just put the Christmas stuff back, but in an easier lineup, so it will be easier to take down and put the gaming stuff back. But yeah, anyways, that was a long aside because Crazy Scott, you said you took down your Christmas stuff today. College football playoffs, national championship, CFP. Ah, got it. Matthew Rakowski, hi Paul, like your voice, so soothing and relaxing. Well, thank you. I'm in a soothing, relaxing kind of mood right now. Normally, I have more energy in the evening, in the daytime. It's kind of high all the time. I think I just did a lot this weekend, and today, being a day off, I still ended up getting a workout in, a whole bunch of yard work, went around the neighborhood, went on like a jog, went on a razor scooter ride with my son, went out with our dog once too. So yeah, I haven't even had my coffee yet, but I'm going to get this. Pump me up. Joycey J, you have some hot chocolate. That sounds better than my coffee. Fire Legend. Hello, Paul. Hello, Fire Legend. Welcome. There was half of that right there. So yeah, one of the titles, excuse me, one of the titles today, or subjects rather, that I wanted to go over was this Thursday. Now, this Thursday, it will be a lot more relevant instead of saying, hey, stay tuned this Thursday. Why should we care right now about the hype for Thursday instead of just going over it Thursday? Well, because it's a point of interest. It's a conversation piece, Matt Piscatella from Circana, formerly known as NPD Group, posted on Blue Sky today that Thursday they will be going over all of the holiday sales. It's something like a December 3rd through January 3rd time frame of how well did video games do in the United States market. And there's a lot of little talk and speculation of what does it mean if PlayStation 5 was number one 2 months in a row? Well, if it's number one, as long as number two also did well, then it doesn't really matter, you know? Likewise, if Nintendo Switch 2 came back on top, okay, cool. But how did the number two do? Fire Code. Hey, Paul. Hey, Fire Code. Welcome. Nice Metroid there. And the logo. People too oftentimes, I think, get caught up on the whole first place versus second place. Second place must mean trash. First place is the only thing that matters. When that's not the case, I think it comes down a lot to like sports, for instance. Who wins the Super Bowl? Who wins the World Series? And second place, psh, whatever. In reality, dude, second place, that's better than 30 other teams. That's better than 29 other teams. That's second best in the world or second best in the country. That's tremendous. Shouldn't scoff at that. Yet a lot of people do. And in video game sales, sometimes it's without even knowing the numbers. This was the best selling system of the month. This was the second best. Oh, that second best is a failure. It's the worst all of a sudden. No, it's not the worst. It's just not as good. So that's how I feel. I don't know, for that matter, what is the ranking in the US for the month of December. I actually don't know officially how well did Nintendo Switch 2 do after December 5th. And even that December 5th number, as I was talking to, Nintendo Prime was on here last week, and I was, breaking it down, that is a shipped to retailers number. So it's sold, but not sold through consumers. So how many of those 15 million sold to consumers as of December 5th were ended up selling to consumers, and as of what time? Day and date through the 5th? Probably not. But for another week or two? I don't know. So we'll see. It's going to be some interesting stuff. Also Thursday, gosh, it's going to be a big day, come to think of it, because that's our normal Japanese sales data day to go over. So Thursday morning, we're going to have a big one on this stream. Today doesn't really feel like a Monday to me. I mean, it was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and, for a large part, everybody operated like a second Sunday, So tomorrow almost starts the beginning of the normal week, if that makes sense. At least here in the US. Sorry, off topic, but I had to tell you, got a lot of Zelda stuff in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Gonna create my own Lost Woods. That's so cool. Where did you get it? Did you get it from the normal shop? I haven't seen them yet. I have not found it yet. I ended up playing it again. My daughter has played more than me at this point in the update, but I haven't seen the Zelda stuff, and I want to buy stuff. Like, you're going to make your own Lost Woods. That sounds so cool. Dang, I like that. Banana Cat 42. When do you think we should see the second Mario Galaxy trailer? I think somewhere in January. Well, good question, and welcome to the stream. I could see it possibly dropping in February, because that would put it 2 months before the movie comes out, especially if it's early February, right? I could see it being delivered in the Nintendo Direct to bring more hype to the Direct, because if they attach the Mario Galaxy movie trailer to the Direct, then later on they relay it back to the Direct, more people could end up watching the Direct as a result. You know what I mean? Like, both of them kind of bouncing off one another. I could also see March 10th, Mario Day, being the date that they save it till, but then that might be a little bit too late. Because then you're looking at 24 days, 3.5 weeks. That second trailer is going to be out before then. Then you've got late January, as you typed yourself as a possibility. I'm going to go with February. It could really be its own thing without the Direct, but that might be a good choice, pairing it up with it. However, you could also look at it from this perspective. have it be its own separate thing, so then you have more people constantly talking about Nintendo. Talk about Nintendo on this day that they show off the new trailer. Several days later, talk about Nintendo on this day when they have the direct. A couple days later, talk about Nintendo this day when Mario Tennis Fever drops out. A couple weeks later, talk about Nintendo again when it is Mario Day. A few weeks later, talk about Nintendo again when this Mario Galaxy movie hits theaters. You know what I mean? You always are being kept in the news, and that's important for a brand like Nintendo to be always in conversation. Steak 1024, hey Paul in chat, hey Steak 1024, good to see you here. Pokemon Fan 34, welcome, welcome. Yeah, it's a little bit of a late night. I thought I didn't come on earlier today, but it would be nice to talk gaming in this later time than not at all, you know? Tomorrow morning, probably the regular time, I'll be back on. Use your Zelda amiibo. Oh! Oh, yeah. Hold on, does everything unlock from the Zelda amiibo? You don't buy anything? Oh, snap. I've got every... I think I have every Zelda amiibo. Okay, I've got to do this. What about the Lego and the Splatoon ones? For the Splatoon ones, is it also scanning the amiibo? Because if that's the case, I don't have every Splatoon amiibo, but I have several. And for the Lego ones, yeah, how do you get those too? Splatoon amiibo for the Splatoon stuff. Lego is available for everyone. Where do you get the Lego stuff though? See, I haven't experienced enough of what's new in the game yet. To be fair, I haven't played that much. I only checked it out twice. You know what I did check out? I am a little bit surprised. Maybe I shouldn't be. I don't know. For that matter, I recommend y'all check it out too. Unless if you truly have zero interest whatsoever in it. But right now, for Nintendo Switch Online members, they're giving a 7-day free trial to the entire Madden NFL 25. It's not a demo, it is the whole game that you download and have on your Nintendo Switch 2 for one whole week. So unless if you could care less, 0% about football at all, about Madden at all, I would say check out the demo. It's free. It's a little bit overwhelming with the menus and the navigating and how to just start, etc. I think it'll be a turnoff to a lot of first timers, but I hopped on. I went through a part of the tutorial and I'm like, I don't want to do this. Let me just play. And then I just set up a game, and the recommended games to play were the games in the playoffs over the last couple of days. So it was LA Rams and the Bears. It was the 49ers and the Seahawks. And then you could play as the different pairings leading into the playoffs. And I played. Now, I played on arcade mode, so the rules are a little bit more lax, I guess. And I played in shorter quarters, 6-minute quarters instead of 15 minutes. So it was a little bit snappier of an experience, but it was really fun. The production value is very high. They've got music, plenty of licensed music, like really good tunes going throughout all of the menus. It's pretty impressive how much stuff they have in there. The game does have little hiccups, not really slowdown. So where it matters, no slowdown or glitchiness or bugs really while you're playing, but in between a play or cutting from a camera angle to a play, it's not perfect there. But the gameplay itself is fun. It's fine. the amount of voice acting and how precise they have all of the talking for the plays for the action that's going down on the field is quite substantial. So pretty cool. I would say if you're at least a little bit interested in football, at least a little bit interested in Madden, it's worth checking out. You know what's also worth checking out? This dog. What do you even have there?
Got it.
What do you even have there? She wants her toy back. She look at this. You ever see a crazy pug? You took her toy. Go get your toy. Go get your toy. Oh, she's letting my wife know whose business. That she means business. Ooh, that's vicious. She had some piece of paper folded up in her mouth and was walking around it. My wife was chasing her. That's what brought her into this room. But anyhow, yeah. Madden NFL 25. It's not even a new game. Came out back in July. But pretty good. Pretty good. And also, for a limited time, even after the 7-day free trial is up, you will have the opportunity to buy it on discount. I think like from 70 down to 40. I'm like, nah, that's okay. I'll go with my 7-day trial. But next year, when nobody cares about Madden NFL 25 because... Oh no, is this 26? Wait, is it 26 or 25? I think it's called 26. I don't know. Whatever. When the next Madden comes out in August of 26 and no one cares about this one and EA puts this one on the eShop for $10, I don't need the newest football game or the newest basketball game necessarily. I'll probably check this one out. If it's like $10 on the eShop, like, yeah, dude, I'll buy it because it's a good enough of a game with the amount of music it has and just options and mini games and play modes and stuff. Like, it'll be worth it for me at that point, you know. Otherwise, yeah, I don't need the newest yearly update and all that. But for what it's worth, it's a recommendation because it's free. So if you're interested, check it out. Nook Shopping Catalog. Lego should just be available in the update in the bank ATM shop machine. Now you still have to buy items from the catalog, but there's Zelda stuff you could buy. Lego set was already there. Okay. Tall show with the nice emojis. I like it. Saw you while I was playing Mario Kart last night. Cool. Oh, yeah, Pokemon fan. That's right. That's right. That's true. Matthew, I love the Nintendo Switch so far and think the system has great potential. You are right, Matthew. The Nintendo Switch 2 is an excellent machine. I am having pretty much as good of a time with it as I had with Nintendo Switch back in March of 2017, with the exception of nothing quite beats that launch's Breath of the Wild, you know? Though Donkey Kong Bonanza was great, and we've had amazing games since then, like Hades 2, Mario Kart World, which was a little bit beforehand, right? And Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, along with Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. So, great first 7 months. Excellent, really. But maybe Nintendo Switch topped it because it was also the first to really like do this hybrid, you know? And yeah, it also had Super Mario Odyssey. But yeah, both amazing systems. Nintendo Ninja Prime Beyond. Hey there. Yep, you saw Peach. Steak 1024, you like Mad on Switch too? Good, I'm glad. All business, no games, Peach, that's right. That was cute. Yeah. I love dogs. Yes. I just saw the message in the member chat. I can go spend more quality time with Metroid Prime 4. Nice. Yeah, Tall Show. If you haven't beaten Metroid Prime 4 Beyond yet, dang. Well, don't rush it. Play it at your own pace, but I hope you have an awesome time from here on out because it's an excellent game. Okay, so I'm talking back and forth. Only DLC. Okay, cool. What do you all think about this possibility of Nintendo showing up in some capacity at the Super Bowl. And by the way, 17 people watching and 17 likes. Thank you very much. I'm going to put up a little poll. Let's see. Do you think Nintendo will show up at the Super Bowl? Yes, with Pokemon. Yes, with Zelda. Yes, with the Super Mario Galaxy movie. No, not at all. Did I say a Nintendo Direct at the Super Bowl? Wait, did I say Nintendo Direct at the Super Bowl? I don't know if I did. I did not mean to say that if I said that. I meant, will Nintendo show up at the Super Bowl? Hold on, what did I type? Do you think Nintendo will show up at the Super Bowl? Yes with Pokemon, yes with Zelda, yes with the Mario Galaxy movie. No, not at all. Okay. I might have said Direct at the Super Bowl. I don't know, though. Plus, to put a commercial during the Super Bowl costs a lot. Yeah, like $7 million. I mean, $7 million bucks. If the movie's going to cost 160, you better hope that your $7 million 30-second ad is worth it. And that's a good chunk of the movie, a good chunk of the production budget equivalent to run a Super Bowl ad. It could be worth it. I think if you have a big product that is going to do really well regardless, but it's going to do so well that you want to capitalize a little bit more, you could go for it. And let's face it, I mean, Nintendo's got billions of dollars. They don't want to be foolish with their money and just throw it away if it's not going to work. But I think a well-placed ad could do some good. Super Mario Galaxy movie ad, you'd be all right. Pokemon 30th anniversary ad, especially if in it there's a little bit of gameplay and the console itself of a Pokemon Gen 10 and a Pokemon themed Nintendo Switch 2 or something like that, would do well. Using the Super Bowl to advertise The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake would do well. Certain things like that. Like, they're going to do well regardless, those games / movies. So Super Bowl ad, it's not going to make it or break it, but it would only add to the hype, you know? Okay, I did say show up. The poll seems pretty obvious. Yeah, I think so. I Byzantium. Mario movie makes more sense. I feel the more iffy would be saved. Well, let's see, but Pokemon, Pokemon showed up at the Super Bowl for the 25th anniversary. Pokemon did 5 years ago. Why wouldn't they do it again? You never know. Zelda did it 8 years ago. Why wouldn't they do it again? Or 9 years ago already. Yeah, 9 years ago. So Zelda and Pokemon have done it before. That's why I put them in the subject. But Galaxy movie, I think, sounds pretty good too. Because the movie would come out, like a month and a half later. A Paul Gale of Darkness themed Switch 2, lol. Yeah, Steak 1024. A nice PGN logo on the Nintendo Switch 2 dock. That would look pretty cool. Pokemon Fan 34, you would die and traded your Switch 2. Yeah. Don't give Pokemon Fan 34 ideas. I says, oh, that's pretty funny. I'm going to finish the second half of this coffee. Yeah, I'm just a little bit tired. Not not to be not enthusiastic. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to see you all here. I'm happy to talk, but just yeah, body's a little achy. I'm a little tired. I think I did a lot of work. I know I did. I usually say it after, and of course when I don't do it. But last week I think it was, I did a significant amount of trimming, and I had this rope tied up high around a branch in the tree, and I put two trash cans underneath it, and I would cut a little bit, pull to see if I'm strong enough to pull. No, I'm not strong enough yet. Tree is thick, wood is tough. It's hard to crack it. Cut a little bit more with the chainsaw. Meanwhile, by the way, I'm climbing the tree with a chainsaw in hand, and then maybe from a safer distance, trying to get with the extender pull, cutting, going down, pulling it, see if I can yank it, trimming, trimming, trimming. Now, put the trash cans right here, pull, 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 landing right perfectly on the trash cans. I'm like, man, you couldn't have done it any better. Like, with the right angle, with the right weight, the distribution between the rope pulling it down and the wood colliding on the trash cans, excellent. Yesterday, I did it again with the other part of the tree with a much bigger chunk, like a big, heavy, what ended up becoming a log, a couple 100 pounds at this point, because wood is heavy. You only get like a several feet of it, and like you're already into quite some weight. But it was an awkward angle, and not the safest if it fell this way. So I tied the rope all the way around, latched it this time all the way off onto the other side, pulled it around so in case it fell, it wouldn't fall on me. It would fall and swing around, give me enough time to go behind. So I'm cutting and pulling, cutting and pulling, cutting and pulling, cutting around, a little bit of wiggle. Okay, have my wife, can you pull? Okay, so it's going, but not enough. Pull, and she's like, I think you're gonna be able to do it on this one. Got the two trash cans here, one on this side just in case, and pull, bam, beautifully, right inside the trash can. My son was there, and I said, "This is why you study in school. This is why you practice your geometry. You could calculate the height of something, anticipate how much it probably weighs, how much you have to pull, the angle in which it will fall, and blocking the path of destruction below not to hurt anything by putting something in the way, and it will probably work out just right. You save thousands of dollars or multiple hundreds of dollars on paying someone to cut it. Will run a little bit of risk of safety involved, yeah, but you could make it pretty certain that this is going to work, and voila. And it was perfect. Landed in there, chopped up the other bits, then hauling stuff out. Anyways, I don't mean to bore you all with my yard work talk. We're here to talk games. I don't even know how I deviated into this chainsaw stuff. I'm not sure. I think because we were talking about like a PGN um, doc, and then that got me into talking about. Oh no, yeah, PGN doc got to talking about the coffee to wake me up, but I am still happy and excited to be here. Just a little bit tired, but that's why. But productive. Oh, and I was saying like, man, and I didn't record it. Like I should have been recording it, because the best videos are sometimes the fails because you got hit in the something or others, and that, well, that's not good. It just happens to get views sometimes. But would you want to put yourself getting hurt up on the internet for views? I don't know. That's Jackass territory. But Jackass is also funny. Speaking of Jackass, a brand new Jackass coming this summer. That's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. They're a lot of fun. The first Jackass movie in theaters was probably the most laughter I've laughed or have heard in an auditorium. It was back at this theater, which had close to 700 seats. Or maybe, no, I think it was like 711, 712. It was when the seats were a little bit smaller, and they've just fit everybody in there. And it was a giant screen, too. I think a 79-foot screen. So one of the biggest. in LA, and just he had 700 people laughing their butts off for an hour and a half at Jackass. Just every type of laughter you could hear, and the laughter was so strong, and the jokes in that movie were so plentiful that you couldn't hear like the next joke's startup time because people were still laughing from the first one. What an amazing experience. Yeah. Let's see. This stream, this late night stream, we're kind of going all over the place. I would have the pug on it. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a pug. Aaron Cedillo says hi. Charlie Smith says hello everyone, and hello Paul. Hello Charlie. Aaron Cedillo. Hi to me too. Hi there. Oh, because that other one was for Pokemon fan. Got it. I don't think Bam is coming back though. So I saw a little interview with Bam Margera, and well, first of all, Steve-O said he would hope that Bam is back. He wants nothing more than like everybody just bury the hatchet. Everybody's older. So much time has gone by. Life is precious. Like, let's just make it work. And I was like, wow, that's good to hear. And then I saw a video with Bam saying it hurts. I'm paraphrasing. It hurts too much at the thought of making something new. He's tried his best to find his way to make peace with the franchise and being okay to leave it behind. But he was asked if he has the blessing or permission or whatever have you to allow old footage that he filmed because it was too gnarly back in the day that didn't make it through or whatever. And he said, yeah, go for it. Sure. I filmed a lot of stuff that would still be funny. So it looks like Bam Margera will be in this new Jackass film, but it won't be him in the current day, late 40s, early 50s. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's got to be late 40s. Won't be him himself nowadays filming new content, but fresh footage of what he filmed in the past that never came out will be here. So that's cool in those regards, but there's nothing quite like seeing the group together, you know? I would like to see current day Bam, current day Steve-O, Wee Man, Preston, Johnny Knoxville, etc., like all together. That would be cool. Whether they're doing big stunts together or just, you know, hanging out together. Yeah, have Chris Pontius laugh with Bam and, you know, everybody. Like, we'll see. Well, they have to do something soon, though, because I think the movie's coming out like this June or July. So you've got to figure out, well, are you filming anything new for the film or not? I don't know. He did sign on for it, but I think it was a small part or archive footage. Yeah, something like that. Cordy says, hi, Paul. I love your videos. Well, thank you, Cordy. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I think it's old footage. Yeah, I saw that. Especially without his best friend, Ryan Dunn, who he did all that stuff with. Yeah. Yeah, that's why Bam wasn't in the last film because, yeah, Ryan passed away in between this movie and this movie, so Bam stopped at that point. So that's tough. QWERTY, hi Paul, can I have a shout out? What kind of shout out would you like? If it's just saying hi, I always say hi to everybody's name in here who pops up. So, hi again, if that's the case. Charlie Smith says, I heard there's going to be a Legend of Zelda Lego game. Is it true? So, what we are getting for sure is soon The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Lego set of Link and Princess Zelda versus Ganondorf or Ganon. That they showed off. They revealed it last week. There's a little trailer. There's a little animation of everybody in play. And it's super cool. It's like a 1,000 piece set. That's $120. So, not bad. Yeah, it looks really neat. But regarding there being a Lego Zelda game, rumor and speculation only. Yeah, that's not known yet. I think it would work. I wouldn't say that a Lego Zelda game is what I want them to do next, but I have faith in the Zelda team that if Nintendo's best, that always shows up to make a new Zelda game, showed up and said, hey, we're going to make a Zelda game as good as any, but use Lego as the art style. And we're going to add some humor, but keep it very Zelda. And we're going to use some of what you know with Lego and follow some of the rules that Lego has in place, perhaps with objects, but have some leniency because this is our game and Lego says we don't mind things being twisted this way or that way, or having things be able to be morphed or whatever have you, you know. Yeah, the game would be brilliant. Like, why not? Nintendo's designers are incredibly talented. They would probably blow people away just like they did with The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker back in the day. And speaking of blown away, Roger Enyart with the 10 gifted memberships. Boom! Big thank you, Roger. Wow. Out of nowhere. I didn't know you were in the chat. Started typing your last name first. Big thank you, Roger Enyart. 2066 for the super generous $10. We gotta change this. 10 new members tonight. That brings us up to 372. And we have 27 people watching now. And our likes have just jumped up to 22. So we've got over 20 on both. Very cool. Thank you, Roger. I appreciate it. Who were the recipients of these 10 gifted memberships? Well, we got Linotha, RX Gaming, C461, Kevin Contento, Logan LeBlanc, Brian Applegate, Tiny, Eric Moore from the Nintendo Byte podcast. That's cool. That guy called Mikey, Mona Blade. That's it. Those are the 10. Happy I'm on vacation this week. Vacation. That sounds nice. A whole week? So you got to benefit from Saturday and Sunday today. You got a whole 4 days ahead of you, plus another Saturday and Sunday to come. That's a nice 9 days off, if I'm not mistaken. Good for you, Roger. I hope you enjoy this break. Any gaming? Movie watching? TV watching? What have I been watching? We started The Lord of the Rings. It'll be my kids' first time watching through the trilogy. I tried to start The Lord of the Rings with them a couple of years ago. Maybe it was a little bit longer than that a few years ago, but we didn't get too far into it. I think it was a little bit too long, too much to follow along. But now they're a little older, and it's been going well so far. So far, they like it. It's Lord of the Rings isn't as easy to introduce to someone like Star Wars is. Star Wars is just everywhere. It's all around. Whether you've watched the movies or not, you've got T-shirt here, game over here, cartoon over here, Disney Plus there, CG this, that, boom, 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 toys. It's everywhere, you know. People know about Star Wars. It's easy to digest, easy to start, to try. Lord of the Rings, well, you either have your books, your 3 movies, some Hobbit prequels, which are still movies, or some older games, or like an Amazon Prime TV series. Like, it's not as out and about, you know. But so far they're enjoying it, so it's good. We're just taking some pauses in between because they're long films. You have a 4-day break. Okay, still a 4-day vacation is nice. That's pretty cool, Roger. That's good. Y Squad Gaming. Hey, Paul. Wario's cousin. I'm cheering for the Rams at this point. Heck yeah. That's good. That's good to hear. If the Rams win the Super Bowl, well, first of all, if they even go to the Super Bowl, That will be 3 Super Bowls in 9 years since they have gone back to being the LA Rams. 3 Super Bowls in 9 years is pretty good. Think of there being 32 teams in the NFL. That's pretty rare to go to the Super Bowl 3 times. And if they win somehow, I don't want to say somehow, I think there's a good chance that they win. Well, I mean, they have to make it one more round. They have to uh, win against the Seahawks next week. So that'll be a challenging game. But if they win the Super Bowl, like, dang, you won 2 out of the 3 that you went to, in which you went to 3 in 9 years. That's 2 Super Bowl wins in 9 years. That's pretty darn good. Just starting off as LA Rams. All right, I mean, you could go back and say, well, what about all the years beforehand? That was a different team. That was a different team, different operation. That wasn't with Sean McVizzle, Sean McVay, and this current era. Actually, it wasn't even with Matthew Stafford because that was Jared Goff as the first LA Rams new quarterback. But St. Louis, yeah, they had the Rams there for quite a while. I'm for Indiana over Miami tonight. Aha, cool, cool. Go Canes. Stafford deserves another one. The Cleveland Rams. Good luck. Artisan James asks, how we doing tonight? Pretty good. How are you doing? Thoughts on Yoshi and the Mysterious Book? Are you picking it up? Definitely yes. So, even though we've only had that one trailer, and that was already some months ago, I know I'm getting it by default. I just like getting each new 2D Mario game. Now, you're like, well, it's a Yoshi game. Well, mark that check mark for Yoshi too. Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, Yoshi the puzzle game for NES, Yoshi's Woolly World, Yoshi's Crafted World, this new Yoshi game, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. I rented Yoshi 64 back in the day. Didn't buy it, but played plenty of it. And then there's a Yoshi game or two that I played quite a bit of that I didn't end up buying in that 3DS era, but still played quite a bit. So I like the Yoshi games, and this one looks like it's probably going to be as good, comparably so to Crafted World and Woolly World. And if it is, that's one more easy buy for me. Now, I suppose there is the possibility, like, well, what if it's not? Okay, fine. I'll check it out at the next direct and see could they have totally dropped the ball or not. But I don't think so. A couple things are safe to say. A 2D Mario game, a 2D Zelda game, a 2D Donkey Kong game, a 2D Metroid game, they're probably going to be pretty good. If you like that type of title, you're going to like them each time around, my opinion. Just, proof in the pudding, history repeats itself. Rams were in Cleveland from 36 to 45, then moved to LA. And then after they were in Ohio and LA to follow, it was LA for a good number of years until they went to St. Louis. Then they were in Missouri up until what? Now at this point, 2017 or something like that. Yeah. They were the LA Rams for a good amount of time. And then St. Louis got them. And now it's kind of weird. Well, I don't know about weird, but LA has two football teams, and they both occupy the SoFi Stadium. And it's funny because Stan Kroenke built the SoFi Stadium. He is the owner of the LA Rams, so that was like his $5 billion project. And the NFL moved the Chargers from San Diego to LA, and they were to share the stadium. So you've got Rams home games and Chargers home games both in the same SoFi Center, which is a beautiful center. Like I went to a Rams game. I forgot who were they playing. I went to a Rams game not too long ago in the SoFi Center. Like, just what a place. What a place. Really cool. I wouldn't mind seeing another football game there. I go down to that area every year for the YouTube Center because that's where the not the Game Awards, that's where the Summer Game Fest is hosted, and the after party at Summer Game Fest is always upstairs, in that like private YouTube theater section. And that's a really cool section. And Jeff Keighley always puts on a really nice after party. Roger Enyart says, Paul Gale Network, Nintendo just announced The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass soundtrack, now available on Nintendo Music. Yeah, I saw that. That's really neat, you know? Phantom Hourglass had nice music. I'm glad that this Nintendo Music app, by the way, in general, is getting good attention. Consistent updates. That's cool. Phantom Hourglass, I still own. I played Spirit Tracks, but don't have Spirit Tracks. Omar David, hey there. Welcome in, welcome. Charlie Smith, yeah, the Raiders. Yeah, the Raiders were here for a while. And then they left in mid-90s. Then the Raiders went to Oakland. And then now they are in Las Vegas as of the last couple of years. I haven't been to the Las Vegas Stadium. I think it's the Levi's. Is it Levi's Center? Levi's Stadium? But it looks really nice too. I think those two are the two newest stadiums of that size that the NFL has. They've got SoFi in Los Angeles, and I think Levi's Center, or Levi's Stadium, whatever, in Las Vegas. But they're both really good looking, you know, just several $1 billion. Man. I will say the LA Raiders left their mark in terms of fans, in particular in Los Angeles, because like at this point, dude, they've been gone for 30 years. And you still have people fairly frequently around here wearing LA Raiders merch, hats, t-shirts. It became kind of a lifestyle for so many, I guess, during that time. It was a popular color scheme. It was a popular logo. It was a team doing pretty well. It was LA branded. It was associated with certain hip-hop artists, rap artists, etc. So it kind of became a culture, and I guess that culture continued being fans, and then not so much even fans of the sport, but the association of what the sport represented or what the team represented or the logo or the identity, the branding along with it. And then that passes on to your relationships and your kids, and now your kids are grown up into that fan base. And then here you are. Raiders haven't been here for a long time. We have our own new football team, or a couple of them, and there's still people like, oh no man, Raiders for life. I guess that's with any sports. Like I see folks aligning themselves with different teams for different reasons. I've always thought it was kind of funny that what makes you a fan of a team from a city or a state that you have nothing to do with. It's not your mom, dad, brother, sister, husband, wife, cousin, friend, anybody personal that you know. You didn't go to that school, you didn't grow up in that city, state, graduated from that university, etc. Yet what draws you to be a fan of that NFL team, that NBA team, that NCAA team from this university over that. Like, what makes it? It's a little bit different if you are from that city and grow up in that city, or went to that university, or are still a student there, or alumni, faculty, staff, have someone directly working there. But to just have this fandom that you develop, it's got to be embedded into you somehow, right? By somebody that introduced you, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. You could say it's cult like, but I suppose that goes with anything. Video game culture, movie culture, sports is big. Like about almost anything. When was the last Chargers Super Bowl? I can't remember, Matt says. Have the Chargers ever been to the Super Bowl? I don't want to say no, they've never been to a Super Bowl, but I actually don't know. Or if they've ever won. I don't know. I don't think so. Paladin, good evening. Steak. I went to a Chargers-Packers game in LA before SoFi. Oh, in LA before SoFi opened when the Chargers were in a soccer stadium. Ah, yeah. Yeah, for a little while, Chargers were... Because the Rams were using the Coliseum close to USC. Gosh, I went to several LA Rams games at the Coliseum before SoFi, and I went to some UCLA versus USC football games, college sports games at the Coliseum. And the Rose Bowl, for that matter. But the one Coliseum game that really stuck out to me was, oh man, it was the Bruins versus the Trojans, UCLA versus USC, and UCLA lost 0-50. Whew. What a game! Yikes! That's a hard loss on that one, or a powerful win on that one, Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass were my introduction to Zelda. It is nice to see the soundtrack drop. That's cool, Paladin. Raider Stadium, aka the Roomba. It is that shape, isn't it? It is like a perfect circle, and yeah, I could see that. That's kind of funny. Let me take a look at this poll. By the way, we're doing some pretty good numbers here. For 57 minutes in, we still got 35 people watching and 20... Oh, we got 30 likes. We just hit 30 likes. Big thank you, everybody, for the 35 watching and the 30 likes. Nice to see you enjoying the content. Speaking of content, what do we have content-wise today? Michael S. Gutmann's here, by the way. Nice. Welcome, Michael. Matt, wow, I just looked it up. They haven't won one, and the last appearance was January 1995, 3 months before I was born. And Steak 1024 saying Chargers lost to the 49ers in Super Bowl 29. Oof. So they've been to one 31 years ago, and that was the only one they went to and lost. And, well, yeah. Finally caught a stream. I'm glad you did, Michael. It's good having you here. We did have some gaming history for today. We could watch that together. Today in gaming history, January 19th, 2024, Pal World launched for the Xbox Series and PC worldwide. Today in gaming history, January 19th, 2024, Pal World launched for the Xbox Series and PC worldwide. You can hear it? Okay. It's just me then. Hold on. That's a little funky. Oh, because I unplugged and replugged. Let me try this. Hold on. Today in gaming history, January 18th, 2019, Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, launched for the Nintendo Switch worldwide. My own speakers because since I unplugged and replugged in to avoid the echoey sound for the microphone, uh, it defaulted it as the audio to come out of. And I'm like, audio doesn't come out of this thing. Audio comes out of my speakers. This is the microphone. But yeah, Paladin came out on this date. Kind of a polarizing game, because to many, it was just a Pokemon knockoff. To be fair, many of the designs in Paladin were very comparable to Pokemon. The gameplay has a certain similarity, yet different enough to distinguish it, but I knew when I first saw that game, like, this is going to cause a little bit of controversy, you know? And yeah, it kind of did. Yeah, but Paladin's anniversary was today. Yesterday was Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. And we could go over Saturdays. Saturdays was a good one. 4,996, 4,997, 4,998, 4,999, 5 million. Woo! That was a workout. I feel pumped up, ready to take on any challenges, like letting you all know that today in gaming history, January 17th, 2020, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot launched for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC worldwide. Kame! Hame! Ha! 4,996. I have to tell you something interesting. Maybe I should ask. Did anybody notice anything interesting or peculiar about that Dragon Ball video? Because exactly 2 comments between my YouTube and TikTok posts of this noticed something, but didn't quite get why. That's just a little tease. I'll put it there, and if anybody figures it out, I'll say congratulations. If not, I'll tell you what it was. So this is a little behind the scenes. I think Rams versus Seahawks may be a defensive battle, but could also be a shootout. Just a big old 50 point, 56 point kind of game or something like that. That'd be kind of wild. But something on the low end, you know? 14-17. I don't know. It's gonna be a tough one. When is it? It's next Sunday? That'll be a good one to watch. DBZ and the new DLC came out for Kakarot. Yeah, the Daima stuff. That's pretty cool. That there is the reason I could never watch Dragon Ball Z. Why? What do you mean that's the reason why you can never watch Dragon Ball Z? Which reason? You tricked me at first on that video. I thought you did really 5 million push-ups. Maybe I did. Man, your camera must be a tank to survive a Kamehameha wave. It is, Paladin. So much wasted time in animation. Pokemon Fan 34 LOL. Seahawks defense is locked down right now. So, Roger. Dragon Ball Z. Have you tried? Have you tried it and not for you? Or you don't think you could stomach it? Because if you don't think you can handle it, you might be right. But if you've never tried it... Oh, no, hold on. If you've tried it and you're like, dude, I can't handle this stuff. This is too slow for me. It takes too long to get to the point. Okay, fine. You tried it. It just might not be good. It might not be for you. But if you haven't tried it and that's just what you think, I would say if you ever find yourself with too much time, nothing better to do, and you have a few hours, go ahead and binge watch some episodes. I don't know at what point would you know for sure, yep, not for me. Because I think that most people, if you gave the whole series a shot, you would walk away happy. But that's a lot to ask for someone to just stick with something that's too long for a whole series, right? Because then you might as well just do like the Cliff Notes version of it or play a game to get the gist of it or something like that, right? But maybe, 20 episodes or something like that, which is, 7 hours. If that's not pulling you in, then it's like, okay, you legit tried and just nope, can't do it. I don't know. I'm curious. Just because I love Dragon Ball, and it is good to hear from different people, different walks of life, why they like it, don't like it, want to try it, shy away from it. Just curious. Is it that you held the Switch version of the game in short? No, but that's a good point, Paladin. It was the Nintendo Switch version, despite that one not coming out for a little bit later. Roger says, nothing you say will ever make me watch anime. I tried back in the day, but the stupid scramming for 10 minutes before shooting a fireball, I just couldn't, lol. Okay, so no anime at all, or just no Dragon Ball? Because, screaming for 10 minutes before, I just couldn't. That's funny, Roger. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so second question, Roger. No Dragon Ball or no anime, period? Because no Dragon Ball. Okay. Because I was going to say, I came came across watching Avatar, The Last Airbender, quite a while after it came out. Like, I didn't watch it new and live as it was airing on TV, but my wife was a big fan of Avatar. So several years ago, it was like, I guess, her second time through the series, my first time with the series. So my wife, son, daughter, me, we went through all of Avatar, and like, dang, it was a good show. It was really fun. Pretty snappy, nice, clear, cohesive story, drawn in an anime-like way with characteristics and facial features and a overall story flow and that kind of thing, but not like Dragon Ball at all in the sense of super long build up, multiple episodes just to get through a fight, that kind of thing. So if you wanted to watch an anime that is a little bit different than Dragon Ball for some of what makes Dragon Ball not fun for some people, the drawn outness, I would say Avatar is good. I became a big fan of it when my wife showed me, and kids liked it too. I'm hoping for NCAA 2026 college football for Switch 2. That's cool, Charlie Smith, maybe. The DBZ GBA games were awesome. I remember one, Crazy Scott. I forgot what the Goku led one was, but that was good. Yeah. Charlie Smith, I've never played DBZ. Dragon Ball Z Kakaroto on Nintendo Switch or Xbox or PlayStation is a really good game. Lily Young, hi there. Dan Dips Queso. Good evening, Paul. Good evening, Dan Dips Queso. One Piece is my all-time favorite. See, I wouldn't mind watching One Piece. I've got to give it a shot. I don't know when or how would I hop into it? But I wouldn't mind. I know there's like 1,100 episodes or something like that, which is quite a bit. But if you honestly watched, what, 3 episodes a day, you'd be kind of caught up in a year without feeling like you're rushing through it, but also not feeling like you're so far behind. Because at this point, if you start One Piece, you're always going to be behind. But, that would be a way to do it, just an hour a day. I don't know when I will, but I'd like to eventually check out One Piece. Have you gotten a chance to play more Age of Imprisonment? Yes, a little bit over the weekend. It's so good. It's so good. I think... What chapter am I in? I don't think I cleared a new chapter, so I think I still think I'm in the same chapter, but yeah. I'm digging it even more. I don't think I'll like it enough more to beat Donkey Kong Bonanza. Possibly. So DK Bonanza, I will say, is still solid as my game of the year. But Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is so good. I kind of want to maybe beat it this week. Maybe I'll play it tonight a little bit more even, because it's still early enough that I just like to play more of it than not with co-op, But what I might do is play a little bit more tonight co-op, since we got a little bit of fun on Saturday, not yesterday. Yesterday I didn't play it. But a little bit Saturday, finally. If I get a little bit more tonight co-op, cool. And then I wouldn't mind maybe beating it solo throughout the week, assuming I'm close to the end, which I think I'm getting close. And then I could experience more of the co-op side on my kid's file or something like that. The first season is rough around the edges, but hooks you quick. They are working on a fast track version to newcomers for One Piece. Apparently, they are trimming the filler episodes. I'm 15 hours into Imprisonment. Cool. One Piece is my all-time favorite. Cool. Okay. So nobody quite got what the little hook was in the video. So for the 35 watching now, I'll play it one more time. Maybe. Yeah, I'll play it one more time. I don't want to... Well, let's see. Maybe I'll catch it this time. 4,996, 4,997, 4,998, 4,999, 5 million. Woo! That was a workout. I feel pumped up, ready to take on any challenges, like letting you all know that today in gaming history, January 17th, 2020, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot launched for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC worldwide. Hame! Hame! Ha! 4 million. Okay. Mike. Mitch Begel. Paul, you are the man. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you for being here. Okay, before I say what it was, it's not even that noticeable. Apparently it's not. Interesting. Maybe I did a good job. Give myself a little pat on the back. Let me read a couple little comments and then I'll go into it. It really is a fun game. I also love what they did. I also love what they did. The action and the cutscenes. Yeah, good cutscenes. Good action. I played Smash today at school. Hope I can get my own copy soon. I hope so. And then Pokemon Fan 34 says nope. Okay, so it's not that big of a deal. Like, I'm going to tell you now and you're going to be like, yeah, I didn't even notice. Well, that was sort of the point. I said 4,995, 4,996. I mean, you can't count. I think Crazy Scott, I think you just got it. In that case, if you're saying what I think you're saying, I did not say 4,999,996. 4,999,997. I said 4,995, 4,996. What's next isn't 5 million. You were at 4,001,000, not 5 million. Exactly. So here's the funny thing is, that's a deep cut. Because in Dragon Ball Z, the scaling, the numbers, they've always been off. They've always been questionable. Goku himself isn't the brightest. He miscounts. It's been said before during his 5 million push-ups. Did he really do them, or is he just Goku being off in numbers? What about his thumb push-ups? What about his 5 million squats or the 1 billion sit-ups that he did with Lord Beerus and Whis on Planet Beerus? Like, was that really a number, or was he just skipping by 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion? Like, Kakarot, you're a fool. You don't know how to count. So that was that. And only one person on the YouTube comment side and one person on the TikTok side said, you kind of skipped some numbers there, buddy. Or like, good video, man, but your counting was off. And I'm like, that was intentional. So that's sort of a play on Goku and Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. So, anyways, I thought it was kind of funny. I think most people didn't notice that I miscounted at all. And the two people that commented just thought I miscounted, but didn't know that's a little bit of a deep cut at Goku. I thought it was clever. Anyways. Dan Dips Queso. Haha, that history vid is awesome. Thanks. Crazy Scott. Okay, I meant that you can't count. I was too lazy to comment, but you noticed? You were at 4,001,000, not 5. Yeah. Adventure Candy Cat. Hello. Will Dispatch or Mio receive a Switch physical cart? I think there's a decent chance. I say that with a little bit of hesitation because I don't know the file sizes yet, nor do I know when exactly will these new, smaller cartridges be made available to the public, or to developers and publishers, I should say. Because if it's later in the year and these games come out sooner, then I don't know if the developers are going to want to, or publishers are going to want to waste extra money on like, hey, we don't need all that extra space if we're not going to use it and have to pay more money on these Nintendo 64 gigabyte cartridges. Let's just make it game key card and or digital, right? If these lower size cartridges come out earlier in the year, like these 32 gigabyte or 16 gigabyte versions, then I could see publishers saying, all right, we're not biting so much of a bullet. This is not cutting into profits too much. We could release this on these cartridges and be all right. So with Dispatch and Mio, I'm not sure. You know, and for that matter, it's not like Nintendo has come out publicly and said, these are now the new cartridges available. That's some internal talk. But we just have reason to believe, I should say, that that is indeed the fact, you know. Yeah. We're probably going to end the stream soon, by the way. But before we go, I just want to say thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. And now that the poll is closed with 44 votes, do you think Nintendo will show up at the Super Bowl? 61% say yes with the Mario Galaxy movie. 30% say no, not at all. 7% think yeah with Zelda. 2% think yeah with Pokemon. I think that since there's a big movie coming out, the Mario Galaxy movie showing up at the Super Bowl is the most likely myself. A little bit of wishful thinking is that if something of a grand magnitude is coming out this year for Zelda, they use the Super Bowl for Zelda like they did Breath of the Wild back in 2017. Or something big coming out for Pokemon this year, they use the Super Bowl as a place to advertise Pokemon like they did several years ago for Pokemon's 25th anniversary, you know? But we'll see. Thanks for the streaming tonight. You're welcome, Crazy Scott. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. Hope you all have a good rest of your night. And see you Tuesday for more. Tuesday morning tomorrow should be around 10 a.m. Pacific time, I'm thinking. I wonder if they will change Pokopia to normal card or just set in stone now to be a key card. Good. Good thought there, Paladin. Safer to say, probably it's going to be stuck at a game key card. But it's possible. It wouldn't be a bad thing if there was another SKU and the other SKU was just a few bucks more and it happened to be all on cartridge, right? I guess time will tell. Good night to all. See you all at the next one. Yes, good night, Roger. Thank you again for the 10 gifted members. We're at 372. We're floating really close to that 400. Like I said in a previous stream, 400 might be the new hopeful base, right? That would be cool if 400 is the new hopeful base. It's not the base yet. It's not the base now. The base now, maybe it's like 350 or something like that. We'll see. But whatever it is, wherever we're at, it's always good to just have y'all here, talk gaming. Sometimes we have bigger conversations because there's more to talk about, more new stuff dropping. Sometimes there's sort of random Q&As, but it's always a good time. So good night.